The screen fades in from black. A soft hum of digital noise fills the background. Suddenly, the sound of rapid typing echoes, followed by a sharp alert tone. Imagine waking up one morning and checking your bank account, only to see that your entire balance has vanished. Not a single rupee left. You call the bank in panic, but they tell you the transactions were authorized using your credentials. You rush to your office laptop, hoping to investigate, but the system refuses to log you in. A message flashes on the screen. Your files have been encrypted. Pay to recover. At the same time, news breaks that a nearby hospital has shut down its emergency systems because their patient records have been corrupted. Doctors are unable to access critical information. Lives are at risk. All of this chaos, the stolen money, the locked systems, the corrupted data, happened because three simple principles were broken. Three principles that silently protect every digital system you use, every day, without you even noticing. Today, you're going to understand those principles. They are called the CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and they form the beating heart of cybersecurity. Once you understand them, you'll never look at the digital world the same way again. Introduction. Cybersecurity may seem like a massive, complicated universe filled with technical jargon, advanced tools, and complex threats. But at its core, everything, absolutely everything, comes down to three fundamental ideas. These ideas are so important that every cybersecurity professional, every ethical hacker, every security auditor, and every organization in the world relies on them as the foundation of their defense strategy. These three ideas form what we call the CIA Triad. Not the CIA intelligence agency, but a simple, powerful model that defines what it means to protect information in the digital age. The CIA Triad stands for confidentiality, ensuring information is kept private and only accessible to the right people. Integrity, ensuring information is accurate, trustworthy, and unaltered. Availability, ensuring information and systems are accessible whenever needed. Think of the CIA Triad as the three legs of a tripod. If even one leg is weak or missing, the entire structure collapses. A system that is confidential but not available is useless. A system that is available but not accurate is dangerous. A system that is accurate but not private is vulnerable. You will learn what each pillar truly means, how it works in real life, how hackers attack it, how companies defend it, real case studies from around the world, tools, techniques, and frameworks used by professionals, common mistakes that lead to disasters, and practical demonstrations you can visualize. You'll see actionable steps for individuals and organizations. By the end of this video, you will understand cybersecurity at a level that even many IT professionals struggle to reach. Let's begin with the first pillar, confidentiality. Section 1, confidentiality, keeping secrets secret. Confidentiality is the principle that ensures information is only accessible to people who are authorized to see it. It is the digital equivalent of privacy. When you send a message, store a file, or log into a system, you expect that only you and the people you choose can access that information. Confidentiality is what makes that possible. To understand confidentiality, imagine your home. You lock your front door not because you expect a thief every day, but because you want to control who enters. You close your windows at night. You don't give your house keys to strangers. You don't leave your personal documents lying around in public. In the digital world, confidentiality works the same way. It ensures that your passwords remain private, your financial information is not exposed, your personal messages are not read by strangers, your company's sensitive data is not leaked, your identity is not stolen. When confidentiality is broken, the consequences can be devastating. Let's explore real examples. Real-world example 1, the Yahoo data breach. Between 2013 and 2014, Yahoo suffered one of the largest data breaches in human history. hackers infiltrated Yahoo's systems and stole information from over 3 billion user accounts. This wasn't just usernames and emails. The attackers gained access to passwords, phone numbers, birth dates, security questions, and backup email addresses. The worst part, many of these security questions and answers, such as, "What is your mother's maiden name?" were stored in plain text, meaning they were not encrypted at all. Anyone who accessed the database could read them like a normal document. This breach didn't just affect Yahoo users. Because people often reuse passwords across multiple platforms, the stolen data allowed attackers to break into bank accounts, social media profiles, email accounts, and online shopping accounts. This is what happens when confidentiality is ignored. A single weak system can expose millions of people. Pegasus is one of the most advanced spyware tools ever created. It exploited a vulnerability in WhatsApp that allowed attackers to infect a phone simply by placing a missed call. The victim didn't even need to answer the call. Once Pegasus was installed, it could read all your messages, access your photos and videos, turn on your microphone, activate your camera, track your location, extract your contacts, and monitor your calls. This wasn't just a breach of privacy. It was a complete takeover of the victim's digital life. Pegasus showed the world how fragile confidentiality can be when attackers exploit even the smallest vulnerability. Hackers use a variety of techniques to break confidentiality. Let's explore them in detail. Phishing is one of the most common and effective methods. Hackers send emails or messages that look legitimate, often pretending to be banks, government agencies, or trusted companies. The goal is to trick you into revealing your password, OTP, or personal information. A single click on a fake login page can give attackers full access to your account. Instead of attacking systems, hackers attack people. They manipulate emotions like fear, urgency, or curiosity. For example, they may call pretending to be IT support and ask for your password. Or they may pretend to be your boss and request confidential files. Humans are often the weakest link in cybersecurity. Malware such as keyloggers, spyware, and Trojans secretly record your keystrokes, capture screenshots, or monitor your activity. They can steal passwords, credit card numbers, and private messages without you ever noticing. Millions of people still use passwords like 123456, password, QWERTY, 11111. Hackers use automated tools that can guess these passwords in seconds. If data is not encrypted, anyone who gains access, even accidentally, can read it. It's like writing your secrets on a piece of paper and leaving it on a public bench. Encryption transforms readable data into a scrambled format that can only be unlocked with a secret key. Even if hackers steal encrypted data, they cannot read it without the key. Modern encryption standards like AES-256 are so strong that even supercomputers would take billions of years to break them. Encryption protects files, emails, databases, network traffic, cloud storage. MFA adds an extra layer of security by requiring something more than just a password. It could be a fingerprint, a face scan, a one-time code, or a hardware token. Even if someone steals your password, they cannot log in without the second factor. Access control ensures that only authorized individuals can access sensitive information. Companies use role-based access control, RBAC, to limit access based on job roles. For example, HR can access employee records, finance can access salary data, IT can access system logs. No one gets access to everything. Each person's access is restricted to only what they need for their job, ensuring sensitive information is protected from both external threats and internal misuse. A VPN encrypts your internet connection, preventing hackers from spying on your online activity, especially on public Wi-Fi. Password managers generate and store complex passwords so you don't have to remember them. This eliminates the need to reuse passwords across multiple sites. Many companies unintentionally weaken confidentiality through poor practices. Some store passwords in Excel sheets or text files. Others give too many employees access to sensitive data. Some fail to encrypt customer information. Many do not train employees to recognize phishing attempts. These mistakes create openings for attackers. Without strong practices and proper training, sensitive information becomes easy for cybercriminals to steal or exploit. Imagine a file named employeesalaries.xlsx stored on a company server. If the file is not encrypted, anyone who gains access, whether a hacker or an internal employee, can open it and read every salary. But if the file is encrypted using AES-256, the file becomes unreadable. Even if copied, it remains locked. Even if leaked, it is useless. Only authorized users with the decryption key can open it. This is confidentiality in action, protecting sensitive information even when systems fail. Integrity is the principle that ensures information remains exactly as it is supposed to be, accurate, complete, and unaltered. If confidentiality is about keeping secrets safe, integrity is about keeping truth safe. It ensures that the data you see, the data you store, and the data you rely on has not been tampered with, corrupted, or manipulated in any way. To understand integrity, imagine a sealed medicine bottle. When you buy it, there is a tamper-proof seal on top. If the seal is broken, you immediately know something is wrong. You may not know who tampered with it or why, but you know the medicine inside can no longer be trusted. The seal is a simple but powerful indicator of integrity. In the digital world, integrity works the same way. It ensures that a bank balance remains accurate and cannot be secretly altered. A medical record reflects the correct diagnosis and treatment. A company's financial statements are not manipulated. A software update is authentic and not replaced with malware. A message you send is received exactly as you intended. When integrity is compromised, the consequences can be far more dangerous than a confidentiality breach. A confidentiality breach exposes secrets, but an integrity breach changes reality. Most people think cyber attacks are about stealing data, but some of the most destructive attacks in history didn't steal anything. They simply changed information. A small modification in a database, a single altered value, or a manipulated sensor reading can cause catastrophic damage. Imagine a hospital where patient blood types are altered. Imagine a bank where transaction logs are modified. Imagine a power plant where sensor readings are falsified. Imagine a company where financial records are secretly changed. In each case, the system still works, but the information it provides is wrong, and wrong information can be deadly. This is why integrity is considered the most dangerous pillar to lose. Real-world example 1, the Stuxnet attack. In 2010, the world witnessed one of the most sophisticated cyber attacks ever created, Stuxnet. This attack targeted Iran's nuclear enrichment program. But unlike typical cyber attacks that steal data or shut down systems, Stuxnet did something far more subtle and far more destructive. Stuxnet infiltrated the industrial control systems that operated nuclear centrifuges, machines that spin uranium at extremely high speeds. Instead of shutting them down, Stuxnet manipulated the data being displayed to operators. It made the centrifuges spin at dangerously high speeds, while showing normal readings on the control screens. To the human operators, everything looked perfectly fine. The dashboard showed stable speeds. The sensors reported normal values. The system logs appeared clean. But in reality, the machines were tearing themselves apart. This was a pure integrity attack. No data was stolen. No systems were locked. No alarms were triggered. The truth was altered. And because the operators trusted the false data, they unknowingly allowed the destruction to continue. Stuxnet proved that when integrity is compromised, even the most secure systems can be manipulated into destroying themselves. Real-world example 2, the Target POS breach. In 2013, Target, one of the largest retail chains in the United States, suffered a massive cyber attack that compromised the credit card information of over 40 million customers. While the attack involved data theft, the method used was an integrity attack. Hackers infiltrated Target's point-of-sale systems and injected malicious code into the payment terminals. This code silently captured credit card data as customers swiped their cards. The POS systems continued to function normally. Cashiers saw no errors. Customers saw no warnings. The system logs appeared unchanged. The attackers didn't shut down the system. They didn't steal passwords. They didn't break encryption. They simply altered the system's behavior in a way that was invisible to everyone. This is the danger of integrity attacks. They hide in plain sight. Integrity attacks come in many forms, and they often go unnoticed until the damage is done. Here are the most common methods, explained in depth. Data tampering occurs when an attacker modifies information stored in a database, file, or system. This could be as simple as changing a number in a spreadsheet or as complex as altering thousands of records in a financial database. For example, imagine a bank employee who secretly increases their own account balance by modifying a database entry, or a hacker who changes the grades in a university system, or a malicious insider who alters inventory records to hide theft. Data tampering is dangerous because it can be extremely difficult to detect without proper integrity controls. In a man-in-the-middle (MITM) attack, a hacker intercepts communication between two parties. They can read the data, modify it, and then forward it to the intended recipient without either side knowing. Imagine sending a message that says transfer 1,000 rupees, but a hacker intercepts it and changes it to transfer 10,000 rupees. The bank receives the modified message and processes it. You never know what happened. MITM attacks are especially dangerous on unsecured networks, such as public Wi-Fi. Some malware is designed specifically to alter system files, configuration settings, or logs. For example, ransomware not only encrypts files, but sometimes modifies system logs to hide its tracks. Other malware may alter security settings to disable antivirus protection. When system files are altered, the entire system becomes unreliable. SQL injection is one of the most common and dangerous integrity attacks. It occurs when an attacker enters malicious SQL commands into a website's input field, such as a login form or search box. For example, instead of entering a username, the attacker enters a command that tells the database to delete records, modify values, or bypass authentication. SQL injection can completely compromise the integrity of a database. Not all integrity attacks come from external hackers. Sometimes, employees with legitimate access intentionally alter data for personal gain, revenge, or sabotage. Insider attacks are extremely dangerous because insiders already have access to systems and often know how to avoid detection. Organizations use a variety of tools and techniques to ensure data remains accurate and trustworthy. Hashing is a process that converts data into a fixed-length string of characters. This string is unique to the original data. Even if a single character in the data changes, the hash value changes dramatically. For example, the word hello and hello produce completely different hashes. Hashes are used to verify file integrity, password storage, software authenticity, and database records. If the hash of a file does not match the expected value, it means the file has been altered. Digital signatures, verifying authenticity. Digital signatures use cryptographic techniques to verify that data comes from a trusted source and has not been altered. They are widely used in software updates, email communication, legal documents, and financial transactions. A digital signature acts like a seal of authenticity. If the signature is invalid, the data cannot be trusted. Checksums, detecting corruption. Checksums are used to verify the integrity of files during download or transfer. When you download software, the website often provides a checksum value. After downloading, you can generate a checksum for the file on your computer. If the values match, the file is intact. If not, the file may be corrupted or tampered with. Version control, tracking every change. Tools like Git, GitHub, and GitLab track every change made to files. They allow developers to see who made a change, when it was made, and what exactly was modified. If something goes wrong, they can revert to a previous version. Version control is essential for maintaining integrity in software development. Database integrity controls, preventing invalid changes. Databases use constraints, triggers, and audit logs to ensure data remains accurate. For example, a constraint may prevent negative values in a salary field. A trigger may log every change to a sensitive table. An audit log may record who accessed or modified data. These controls help detect and prevent unauthorized changes. Common mistakes companies make. Many organizations unintentionally weaken integrity by failing to implement proper controls. Some do not use hashing for sensitive files. Others allow direct access to databases without audit logs. Some fail to validate user input, making them vulnerable to SQL injection. Many do not monitor changes to critical systems. These mistakes create opportunities for attackers to alter data without detection. Practical demonstration, visual explanation. Imagine a bank database with the following record: account number 12345, balance rupees 50,000 rupee. If a hacker gains access and changes the balance to 500,000 rupees, the bank may not notice unless integrity controls are in place. But if the system uses hashing, the original record produces a hash value. The modified record produces a completely different hash. The mismatch immediately alerts the system that tampering has occurred. This is how integrity protects the truth. Availability is the third pillar of the CIA Triad, and it focuses on ensuring that information, systems, and services are accessible whenever authorized users need them. While confidentiality protects secrets and integrity protects truth, availability protects access. Without availability, even the most secure and accurate system becomes useless. To understand availability, imagine a hospital emergency room. The doctors are trained, the equipment is ready, and the patients are waiting. But suddenly, the doors are locked from the outside. No one can enter. No one can receive treatment. The hospital still exists, the doctors are still inside, and the equipment is still functional. But none of it matters because the system is unavailable. In the digital world, availability works the same way. It ensures that websites load when users visit them, banking systems process transactions, hospitals access patient records instantly, companies access their cloud services, employees log into their systems without delay. When availability fails, operations stop, businesses lose money, hospitals lose lives, governments lose control, people lose trust. Availability is not just about uptime. It is about resilience, reliability, and readiness. We live in a world where everything is connected: banking, healthcare, transportation, communication, education, and even national security. A single outage can disrupt millions of people. Companies measure downtime in terms of financial loss per minute. For some industries, even a few seconds of downtime can cause irreversible damage. For example, stock exchanges lose millions if trading systems go offline. Airlines cannot operate if their booking systems fail. Hospitals cannot treat patients if medical records are inaccessible. E-commerce platforms lose customers instantly if their website crashes. Cloud services impact thousands of businesses when they go down. Availability is not optional. It is the backbone of digital trust. In May 2021, the United States experienced one of the most disruptive cyber attacks in its history. The Colonial Pipeline, which supplies nearly half of the East Coast's fuel, was hit by a ransomware attack. The attackers did not steal data. They did not alter records. They did not manipulate systems. They simply made the systems unavailable. The company shut down its entire pipeline operations to prevent the ransomware from spreading. This shutdown caused fuel shortages across multiple states, panic buying at gas stations, long queues stretching for miles, flight disruptions due to lack of jet fuel, a spike in fuel prices nationwide. This attack demonstrated how a single availability failure can impact millions of people, disrupt national infrastructure, and cause economic chaos. The Colonial Pipeline attack was a wake-up call for the world. It showed that availability is not just a technical issue, it is a national security issue. In 2018, GitHub, one of the world's largest software development platforms, faced one of the biggest distributed denial of service or DDoS attacks ever recorded. Attackers flooded GitHub's servers with an enormous amount of traffic, overwhelming the system. The attack reached a peak of 1.35 terabits per second, an unprecedented volume at the time. GitHub's servers struggled to handle the load. Developers around the world experienced slowdowns and temporary outages. Projects were delayed. Deployments were interrupted. Critical workflows were disrupted. This attack did not steal data or alter code. It simply prevented users from accessing the platform. This is the essence of an availability attack, overwhelming a system until it collapses under pressure. Availability attacks come in many forms, and they often target the weakest points in a system's infrastructure. Let's explore the most common methods in detail. A DDoS attack is like sending millions of people to a shop at the same time. The shopkeeper cannot serve everyone, the store becomes overcrowded, and legitimate customers cannot enter. In a DDoS attack, hackers use thousands or even millions of compromised devices, known as botnets, to flood a server with traffic. The server becomes overwhelmed and stops responding. DDoS attacks can crash websites, slow down applications, disrupt online services, cause financial losses, damage reputation. They are one of the most common availability attacks. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts files and locks systems, making them inaccessible. Attackers demand payment, often in cryptocurrency, to restore access. Ransomware attacks can shut down hospitals, schools, government agencies, corporations, critical infrastructure. The Colonial Pipeline attack was a ransomware attack. Availability was destroyed instantly. Not all availability failures are caused by hackers. Sometimes systems fail due to hard drive crashes, power supply failures, network outages, overheating servers, faulty components. If a company relies on a single server or a single data center, a hardware failure can bring everything down. Floods, fires, earthquakes, and storms can destroy data centers and disrupt operations. Companies without disaster recovery plans often suffer permanent data loss and extended downtime. Availability requires planning for the unexpected. A simple power outage can shut down servers, routers, and entire networks. Without backup power systems like UPS units and generators, availability collapses instantly. Organizations use a variety of strategies to ensure systems remain available even during attacks or failures. Load balancers distribute incoming traffic across multiple servers. Instead of one server handling all requests, the load is shared. This prevents overload and ensures smooth performance even during high traffic. For example, If a website receives a sudden spike in visitors, load balancers ensure that no single server becomes overwhelmed. Redundancy means having multiple copies of critical systems, servers, and data. If one system fails, another takes over instantly. Redundancy can include multiple servers, multiple data centers, backup internet connections, duplicate hardware components. Redundancy ensures that no single failure can bring down the system. Backups are essential for recovering from ransomware, hardware failures, and accidental deletions. Companies use full backups, incremental backups, cloud backups, offline backups. A good backup strategy ensures that data can be restored quickly and accurately. A disaster recovery plan outlines the steps an organization must take to restore operations after a major failure. It includes recovery procedures, backup locations, emergency contacts, system restoration steps, communication plans. Companies that lack disaster recovery plans often struggle to recover from outages. Services like Cloudflare, AWS Shield, and Akamai detect and block DDoS attacks before they reach a company's servers. They filter out malicious traffic and allow legitimate users to access the system. Anti-DDoS systems are essential for protecting availability in the modern internet. Many organizations unintentionally weaken availability by failing to plan for failures. Some rely on a single server without redundancy. Others do not perform regular backups. Some lack monitoring tools to detect outages early. Many do not test their disaster recovery plans, leaving them unprepared for real emergencies. These mistakes make systems fragile and vulnerable. Imagine a website hosted on a single server. If that server crashes due to a hardware failure, power outage, or cyber attack, the website disappears instantly. Customers cannot access it. Employees cannot log in. Operations stop. But if the website is hosted on multiple servers across different locations, the system becomes resilient. If one server fails, another takes over automatically. Users never notice the failure. This is availability in action, ensuring continuous access even when things go wrong. Section 4. How the CIA Triad works together. The CIA Triad is often taught as three separate concepts: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But in reality, they function like interconnected gears in a machine. If one gear stops turning, the entire system grinds to a halt. Cybersecurity is not about protecting one pillar at a time. It is about ensuring that all three pillars reinforce each other to create a complete, resilient defense. To understand how these pillars work together, imagine an online banking system. When you log into your bank account, confidentiality ensures that your password is protected and that no unauthorized person can access your financial information. Integrity ensures that the balance you see is accurate and has not been manipulated by a hacker or corrupted by a system error. Availability ensures that the banking system is online and responsive whenever you need it, whether you are checking your balance at midnight or transferring funds during business hours. If any one of these pillars fails, the entire system becomes unreliable. If confidentiality fails, your account can be accessed by criminals. If integrity fails, your balance may be incorrect or transactions may be altered. If availability fails, you cannot access your money at all. This interconnectedness is what makes the CIA Triad the foundation of cybersecurity. It is not just a model, it is the blueprint for digital trust. Section 5, Case Study, When All Three Pillars Fail. To truly understand the importance of the CIA Triad, let's examine a real-world scenario where all three pillars collapsed simultaneously, leading to catastrophic consequences for a company. Imagine a mid-sized financial services firm that stores customer data, transaction records, and internal documents on a central server. The company has basic security measures in place, but they have not updated their systems in years. They rely on outdated antivirus software, weak passwords, and a single backup stored on the same network. One day, a hacker sends a phishing email to an employee. The email appears to be from the company's IT department, requesting the employee to verify their login credentials due to a system update. The employee enters their username and password into the fake login page. Within minutes, the attacker gains access to the company's internal systems. The first pillar to fall is confidentiality. The attacker downloads customer records, including names, addresses, bank details, and identification documents. Sensitive financial information is now in the hands of criminals. Next, the attacker targets integrity. They alter transaction logs, modifying amounts and redirecting funds to offshore accounts. They change timestamps, delete evidence, and manipulate financial statements. The company's internal data becomes unreliable and untrustworthy. Finally, the attacker deploys ransomware, encrypting all files and shutting down the company's systems. This destroys availability. Employees cannot access their computers. Customers cannot log into their accounts. Operations come to a complete halt. The company is now facing a triple disaster: a confidentiality breach that exposes customer data, an integrity breach that corrupts financial records, and an availability breach that shuts down operations. The financial loss is enormous. The reputational damage is irreversible. Customers lose trust. Regulators impose heavy fines. The company struggles to recover. This case study demonstrates that cybersecurity is not about protecting one pillar. It is about protecting all three simultaneously. A failure in one area often leads to failures in the others. Cybersecurity is not just the responsibility of companies. Individuals play a crucial role in protecting their own digital lives. Many cyber attacks succeed not because systems are weak, but because people make simple mistakes that open the door for attackers. One of the most important practices for individuals is using strong, unique passwords for every account. A strong password is long, complex, and difficult to guess. Using the same password across multiple platforms is extremely risky because if one platform is breached, attackers can access all your accounts. A password manager can help generate and store strong passwords securely. Another essential practice is enabling multi-factor authentication, MFA, wherever possible. MFA adds an extra layer of protection by requiring something you know, your password, and something you have, a code sent to your phone or generated by an app. Even if your password is stolen, MFA prevents unauthorized access. Individuals should also avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive activities such as online banking or accessing work systems. Public networks are often unsecured, making it easy for attackers to intercept your data. If you must use public Wi-Fi, a virtual private network, VPN, can encrypt your connection and protect your information. Keeping software updated is another critical practice. Updates often include security patches that fix vulnerabilities. Ignoring updates leaves your devices exposed to known threats. Regularly backing up your data ensures that you can recover your files in case of ransomware, hardware failure, or accidental deletion. Backups should be stored in multiple locations, including offline or cloud storage. Finally, individuals must be cautious with links, attachments, and messages from unknown sources. Phishing attacks are becoming increasingly sophisticated, and a single click can compromise your entire digital identity. By following these practices, individuals can significantly reduce their risk of cyber attacks and protect their personal information. Organizations face far greater risks than individuals because they store large amounts of sensitive data, operate complex systems, and are frequent targets of cyber criminals. To protect themselves, Companies must adopt a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy that addresses all three pillars of the CIA Triad. One of the most effective strategies is implementing a zero-trust architecture. Zero trust assumes that no user, device, or system is trustworthy by default, even if they are inside the company's network. Every access request must be verified, authenticated, and authorized. This approach minimizes the risk of insider threats and lateral movement by attackers. Encryption is essential for protecting confidentiality. Companies must encrypt data both at rest, stored on servers or devices, and in transit, moving across networks. Even if attackers gain access to encrypted data, they cannot read it without the decryption key. Security Information and Event Management (SIEM) tools help companies monitor their systems in real time. SIEM tools collect logs from various sources, analyze them for suspicious activity, and alert security teams to potential threats. This enhances visibility and enables rapid response. Regular penetration testing is crucial for identifying vulnerabilities before attackers exploit them. Ethical hackers simulate real-world attacks to uncover weaknesses in systems, networks, and applications. Companies can then fix these vulnerabilities to strengthen their defenses. Employee training is one of the most important, yet often overlooked aspects of cybersecurity. Many breaches occur because employees fall for phishing emails or mishandle sensitive information. Regular training sessions help employees recognize threats and follow best practices. Backups and disaster recovery plans ensure that companies can recover quickly from ransomware, hardware failures, or natural disasters. Backups must be tested regularly to ensure they work when needed. Access control and the principle of least privilege ensure that employees only have access to the information they need to perform their jobs. This reduces the risk of accidental or intentional misuse of data. By adopting these best practices, companies can build a strong cybersecurity foundation that protects confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Despite the importance of cybersecurity, many individuals and organizations make mistakes that leave them vulnerable to attacks. One of the most common mistakes is believing that we are too small to be hacked. Cyber criminals often target small businesses because they typically have weaker security measures. Another mistake is using outdated systems and software. Old systems often contain unpatched vulnerabilities that attackers can exploit easily. Companies that delay updates or rely on legacy systems expose themselves to unnecessary risks. Ignoring employee training is another major mistake. Even the most advanced security tools cannot protect a company if employees fall for phishing attacks or mishandle sensitive data. Failing to patch vulnerabilities is a widespread issue. Many cyber attacks exploit known vulnerabilities that have already been patched by vendors. Companies that do not apply updates promptly leave themselves open to attacks that could have been prevented. Storing sensitive data without encryption is another dangerous mistake. If attackers gain access to unencrypted data, they can read it immediately. Encryption adds a critical layer of protection. Finally, many organizations lack an incident response plan. When a breach occurs, they panic, make poor decisions, and waste valuable time. A well-defined incident response plan ensures that the organization can respond quickly and effectively. Avoiding these mistakes is essential for maintaining a strong cybersecurity posture. The CIA Triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, is the foundation of cybersecurity. These three pillars define what it means to protect information in the digital world. Confidentiality ensures that sensitive information remains private. Integrity ensures that information remains accurate and trustworthy. Availability ensures that systems and data are accessible when needed. Every cyber attack targets one or more of these pillars. Every defense strategy is designed to protect them. Every cybersecurity professional relies on them as the guiding framework for securing systems. Understanding the CIA Triad is not just an academic exercise. It is the key to understanding how the digital world works. It is the lens through which you can analyze any cyber threat, evaluate any security measure, and design any defense strategy. Once you master the CIA Triad, you gain the ability to think like a cybersecurity professional. You begin to see vulnerabilities before they become threats. You understand how attackers operate. You recognize the importance of strong defenses. You become capable of protecting yourself, your organization, and your digital identity. The CIA Triad is not just a model. It is the heart of cybersecurity. If this video opened your eyes to the true meaning of cybersecurity, imagine what the rest of this series will do. You are not just learning concepts. You are building a skill set that can protect your digital life, advance your career, and empower you to defend against real-world threats. So take the next step, subscribe to Knowitrix, share this video with someone who needs to understand cybersecurity, and continue your journey into the world of digital defense. Your data is worth protecting. Your systems are worth securing. Your future is worth investing in. And I'll be right here, guiding you through every module, every concept, and every challenge. Welcome to the world of cybersecurity. Welcome to Knowitrix.